Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 2026-0327. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. We begin with a major regulatory decision out of Europe that could set the tone for generative AI governance across the continent. An Amsterdam court has banned the use of X's Grok AI Notifier function in the Netherlands. The ruling follows reports that the Grok feature generated 3 million sexualized images in just 11 days after launch, including 23,000 involving children. The court imposed fines of €100,000 per infringement, capped at €10 million. It also barred Grok from operating on X within the Netherlands while the notifier functionality remains active. Additionally, the court ordered XAI, the company behind Grok, to explain how the feature was implemented and what safeguards were in place. This is not an isolated judicial reaction. The European Parliament has agreed on measures to ban notifier apps before the summer, signaling that this Dutch ruling may soon be reinforced by EU-wide legislation. For practitioners, this is a flashing red light. The expectation is clear: rigorous auditing of model outputs, stronger filtering systems, and proactive compliance with rapidly evolving regulatory frameworks. Generative AI developers operating in Europe must now assume that insufficient content controls can trigger immediate and costly enforcement. From European courts to US federal courtrooms, Anthropic is at the center of a high-stakes legal battle that could redefine executive power over AI procurement. U.S. District Judge Rita Lynn has granted Anthropic a preliminary injunction temporarily blocking the Pentagon from declaring the company a national security risk. The decision halts a presidential directive and a supply chain designation issued by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth that would have effectively blacklisted Anthropic from federal and defense contracts. Judge Lynn ruled that the attempted ban likely violates the First Amendment and undermines constitutional protections. She paused enforcement for 1 week to allow the Justice Department to appeal. But for now, Anthropic can continue working with the Pentagon and federal agencies. This ruling preserves potentially billions of dollars in federal business for Anthropic, led by CEO Dario Amodei. It also creates a complex competitive dynamic, especially given the Pentagon's separate deal with OpenAI. The broader issue here is precedent. If upheld, this decision could limit the executive branch's ability to unilaterally exclude AI vendors on policy or ideological grounds without clear statutory authority. For AI companies pursuing government contracts, this case is critical. It underscores that AI procurement is no longer just about technical benchmarks or pricing. It is about constitutional law, national security narratives, and the evolving boundaries of administrative power. Next, we turn to monetization, where OpenAI has announced a significant milestone. OpenAI's US ChatGPT ads pilot has reached a $100 million annualized revenue run rate within just 6 weeks of launch. According to a company spokesperson, about 85% of users are eligible to see ads, though fewer than 20% are shown ads daily. More than 600 advertisers have already joined the platform, and nearly 80% of interest is coming from small and medium-sized businesses. OpenAI plans to roll out self-serve advertiser tools in April and expand the program globally. This is a rapid validation of advertising as a scalable revenue stream for large language model platforms. The numbers suggest strong advertiser demand and a potentially durable business model beyond subscriptions and API usage. However, the balance between monetization and user trust will be critical. Ad load, targeting transparency, and data usage policies will determine whether ChatGPT can scale advertising without eroding user confidence. For product leaders and AI founders, this is a case study in platform monetization velocity. 6 weeks to a $100 million annualized run rate is not incremental progress. It signals structural demand. Our final top story highlights a serious supply chain security threat. The FBI Cyber Division has issued a critical alert after a group known as Team PCP carried out a massive supply chain attack targeting AI developers. According to the Bureau, Team PCP compromised 2 widely used developer tools and injected malicious code into trusted build pipelines. The attackers exploited weak credential management practices and even used AI-assisted coding techniques to escalate access and evade detection. This is a textbook example of why supply chain security must be a board-level priority for AI organizations. When trusted developer tools are compromised, downstream AI systems inherit the risk. The FBI's alert makes clear that teams should immediately audit dependencies, rotate credentials, and implement stronger build pipeline protections. In an ecosystem increasingly dependent on open source components and automated CI/CD workflows, the attack surface is expanding. For AI teams, secure software supply chains are no longer optional. They are foundational infrastructure. Now, for a few other key updates in our lightning round. Researchers from RWT Hayth Aachen and the Technical University of Dresden have published a study in cancer discovery from the American Association for Cancer Research describing a machine learning model that predicts hepatocellular carcinoma risk. Using UK Biobank data and external validation from the All of Us dataset, the team built a random forest model combining demographics, electronic health records, and routine blood tests. The model achieved an AROC of 0.88 and outperformed established clinical scores including FIB-4, APARI, NFS, and AMAP. A simplified 15-feature version could enable broader screening in primary care, though prospective validation is still needed. In another security-focused study, researchers from Stanford, UC Davis, and TU Delft released a preprint titled Keys on Doormats. After scanning roughly 10 million websites, they identified 1,748 valid API credentials across about 10,000 web pages. AWS keys accounted for more than 16% of verified exposures, and 84% of the leaks were embedded in JavaScript. Exposed credentials included access to AWS, GitHub, Stripe, and OpenAI services, with many remaining public for an average of 12 months. The takeaway: scanning code repositories is not enough. Production websites must be continuously audited. Anthropic is also making operational adjustments to Claude. During peak hours, 05 to 11 Pacific time, the company will now enforce session limits based on token usage rather than clock time. This means a nominal 5-hour session allowance can be consumed more quickly during high-demand windows. Weekly caps remain unchanged, and API customers are unaffected, but around 7% of users, particularly pro subscribers, may hit limits sooner. For teams running token-heavy workloads, shifting jobs to off-peak hours may become essential. Google has launched an AI-powered configuration tool in Google Search Console. The new assistant allows users to generate performance report filters using natural language. It automatically applies metrics, date ranges, and comparisons, reducing setup time from minutes to seconds. While it does not yet provide analysis or export capabilities, it significantly streamlines report configuration for SEO teams. Finally, a preprint on Arxiv led by Adam Gabet introduces a gait foundation model trained on 3,414 adults using depth camera-based 3D skeletal motion across 5 motor tasks. The learned embeddings predicted age with a correlation of 0.69, BMI at 0.90, and visceral adipose tissue area at 0.82, significantly outperforming engineered features. The model predicted 1,980 of 3,210 phenotypic targets, suggesting that gait could become a scalable, passive biomarker if validated in consumer-grade video settings. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.